The Galactic Council's Xenobiology Department buzzed with nervous energy as representatives from 47 species gathered in the vast circular chamber. At the center sat a lone human, his chair dwarfed by the towering forms of the Zephyrian, delegates, and the crystalline structures that housed the gaseous Etherians. Commander Vexahai of the Dominion Fleet leaned forward, his 4 eyes fixed on the human with predatory intensity. "We have studied your world's fauna extensively, human. Your planet teems with creatures of remarkable lethality. The great white shark with its razor teeth, the saltwater crocodile with bone-crushing jaws, the venomous taipan with its deadly bite." The human, who had introduced himself simply as Marcus, sat relaxed in his chair. His hands were folded calmly. In his lap, a slight smile playing at the corners of his mouth. "Yet," continued the insectoid representative from Kepler 442b, mandibles clicking rapidly, "our biological surveys indicate none of these creatures pose a significant threat to your species expansion. How did such a fragile-looking biped come to dominate a world filled with natural weapons?" The question had puzzled xenobiologists across the galaxy. Earth's humans possessed no natural armor like the Torthan shell warriors, no acidic secretions like the Melody hive minds, no electromagnetic pulse capabilities like the cyber-evolved Nexians. They were pink, soft, and seemingly defenseless. Marcus chuckled softly, drawing confused chittering from several delegates. "You want to know about Earth's apex predator?" "Indeed," rumbled the massive Goliathan ambassador, his voice like grinding stone. "Our combat analysts require this information to properly assess human military capabilities. What creature should our warriors prepare to face when we inevitably claim your world?" The threat hung in the air like a poisonous cloud. Several smaller species representatives shifted uncomfortably. The Galactic Council maintained peace through strength, and the Dominion Fleet had been eyeing Earth's resources for decades. Marcus's smile widened, but his eyes remained cold. "You've been asking the wrong question." He stood slowly, his movements fluid and deliberate. Despite being one of the smallest beings in the chamber, his presence seemed to fill the space around him. "You see, you've been cataloging Earth's creatures looking for the biggest teeth, the strongest bite, the most potent venom. But that's not what makes an apex predator." The human began to pace, his soft-soled boots making no sound on the chamber floor. "Let me tell you about persistence hunting. My ancestors would select a target, say an antelope, and simply start walking toward it. The antelope would bolt, of course, much faster than any human, but we would follow." The Kepler delegate's compound eyes tracked Marcus's movement. "Follow? At such inferior speeds?" "For hours, days sometimes. We can't run as fast as our prey, but we can run longer than anything else on our planet. We sweat to cool ourselves. We breathe efficiently. We maintain our pace. The antelope would run, rest, run again. But we never stopped, never lost the trail." Marcus paused at the edge of the chamber, gazing out at the star field beyond the transparent aluminum walls. Eventually, the prey would collapse from exhaustion. Not a mark on it, just tired to death. A chill settled over the assembled aliens. The implications were beginning to dawn on them. "But that's just the beginning," Marcus continued. "See, humans are what we call persistence predators in more ways than one. Take our space program. We looked up at the moon and said, we're going there. Took us less than 70 years from first flight to lunar landing." The Zephyrian delegate's tentacles writhed nervously. "Many species have achieved spaceflight." "In how long?" Marcus interrupted. "The average species takes 3 to 4 centuries to progress from atmospheric flight to interplanetary travel. We did it in less than 1. And we didn't stop there. Mars, the outer planets. We keep pushing." He turned back to face the assembly, and several delegates instinctively recoiled from his gaze. You want to know about human military capabilities? We have a saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough. We don't fight fair. We fight to win. We study our enemies, learn their weaknesses, adapt our tactics. We build tools, weapons, strategies specifically designed to defeat whatever we're facing. The Goliathan ambassador's massive form shifted uneasily. Crude cunning is hardly... We turned sand into computers, Marcus said quietly. We split the atom and harnessed the power of stars. We made diseases our allies and trained our own. Immune systems to fight cancers. We look at every problem like prey that just needs to be chased long enough. The chamber had fallen silent except for the hum of life support systems. You asked about Earth's apex predator, Marcus said, his voice carrying clearly through the vast space. He raised one hand and pointed directly at his own chest. You're looking at 40,000 years of evolutionary selection pressure that produced a species optimized for one thing, never giving up. Commander Vexahai's voice was barely a whisper. What? What happened to the other apex predators on your world? Marcus's smile returned, colder than before. We ate them. Then we mounted their heads on our walls as trophies. The ones we didn't. Drive to extinction we domesticated. Turned apex predators into pets that sleep on our children's beds and perform tricks for treats. The silence stretched for long moments before the Etherian representative, speaking through their translation matrix, asked the question they all dreaded. What do you want? Marcus looked around the chamber, meeting the gaze of each delegate, in turn. Right now, just to be left alone to explore the galaxy in peace. But if you force us to chase you, he shrugged, the gesture somehow more threatening than any weapon display. Well, ask any antelope how that usually ends. The human gathered his simple belongings and walked toward the chamber exit. At the threshold, he paused and looked back. Oh, and Commander Vexahai, your combat analysts don't need to prepare for Earth's apex predator. They need to prepare to become its prey. The hunt has already begun. As the chamber doors closed behind him, 47 species sat in stunned silence, finally understanding that they had been asking the wrong question entirely. They had sought to identify Earth's greatest predator, never realizing they were already in its presence. In the depths of space, humanity continued its relentless expansion among the stars.